Hello, Internet. I still don't have a light here. So instead, I have these Christmas lights lighting me in an awkward yet demonic fashion. It knows my soul. I forgot what I'm doing. I knew somebody who had an excess of squash, was trying to get rid of them, and loaded my trunk up with all the squash that he could, honestly. So today we're going to be making a squash stew because I can't figure out what else I can do with it. Without further ado, food. Now go ahead and heat a pot up to medium heat and throw some oil in there. Then we're going to add an onion that's about roughly chopped. It doesn't have to be perfect. Once the onions are soft, we're going to go ahead and add those carrots. The carrots are going to get soft as the onions get to the caramelization stage. And just stir these around to make sure that they're evenly coated with oil and they are evenly covering the bottom of the pan. Then we're going to go ahead and lightly season it with salt just to bring some of that moisture out so that it softens faster. And keep stirring that occasionally to keep the heat even. Now we're going to add some garlic. This is about a tablespoon, maybe 2. We're just keeping everything moving right now to keep that heat evenly dispersed. Once the carrots are soft and the onions are caramelized, we're going to go ahead and throw in an entire cubed large kombucha. This is a Japanese variety of squash. It is not too savory, but not too sweet. That subtle flavor is going to be really easy to trick your husband into eating vegetables. We're just going to add some parsley, thyme, salt, pepper, and a little bit of sage. So it's not going to be very overpowering. It's not that strong of a flavor. It'll go with pretty much any fall kind of recipe as a side dish. And you could probably use it as a main dish for, your easy sick day soups. And stir everything around so it's all incorporated, and once again that heat is evenly dispersed. At this point, I didn't think that it was seasoned enough, so I added more of pretty much everything. Right here you see me adding some more pepper and some more Italian seasoning. I'm using an Italian seasoning blend. It's not very specific that you need to use an Italian seasoning. This is a Japanese squash, so once again, the flavors are very subtle and can really go with whatever you want to season with it. This isn't Burger King, but you can still have it your way. Now I'm going to go ahead and add 2 cups of this homemade vegetable broth. That's why it's in a weird water bottle. That's another video though, that's for later. Here, I didn't think that the broth was covering enough, so I went ahead and got another cup of water and some broth base, so that makes it a total of 3 cups of vegetable broth, just to make sure that everything was covered in liquid to actually boil. I add more broth base than is actually recommended, but that's just a personal flavor preference. Once you bring everything to a boil, give it a good stir, and we're going to bring the heat down to a simmer and put a lid on it and let that cook for, I believe, 15 to 20 minutes, just so that that kombucha squash softens. Then we're going to go ahead and add 3/4 of a cup of red lentils. You can add a full cup. I would recommend adding more lentils to get more protein in there. This was all the lentils that I had in my pantry. I did rinse the lentils off in the sink before adding them to get rid of some of the dirty, starchy flavor. And we're just incorporating those lentils into the stew and broth to make sure that they are all covered so that they can soak up some of that broth and cook all evenly. This is going to take another maybe 15 to 25 minutes depending on how hot your stove is and the type of lentils that you have. After that 15-20 minutes, make sure to taste test to see that your lentils are cooked all the way through. Here they are, so I'm gonna go ahead and make a bowl. And there you go, a squash stew that's good enough to trick your husband into eating vegetables. Now, according to my calculations, there are about 700 calories and 40 grams of protein in the entire pot. So I would definitely pair this with a higher protein source as a side dish. Some of my favorite high protein sides are like black bean burgers, maybe tempeh steak. Let me know what some of yours are or anything that you would change this recipe. Constructive criticism is always welcome. And like always, don't forget to like and subscribe.